Ascendancy won the vote by a landslide. Actually, let me update this. We're still waiting on him. It's his priority right now. All right, Just Guy Ascendancy, and we're 1-0. Still waiting for my opponent. Let me pull up the deck list while we wait for him to make his decision. I don't know what he's deciding over there, but he is deciding something. So we're up a game. That's good. It's always a good starting place in these dailies, for sure, team. Don't think it's necessarily your style, but I think it's really cool. Brew. Confection says his Lumbering Falls is my 60. There's two. Two Lumbering Falls. We used to run playset, then it got trimmed to 2, or trimmed to 3, excuse me. Now it's on, it was 3 for a while, actually, and now we were on 2. But 2, I think, is the sweet spot. Just gives you that right amount of, hexproof creatures so you can win against, people that are still trying to jam Abrupt Decays and Terminates, etc. Stitcher doesn't care about Abrupt Decay, for example, but obviously they're just Decay of the Ascendancy. That's where the Face Shield comes in handy. He might be dual queuing too. Go ahead and do the good luck, have fun. We'll see if he comes back. If you guys have any questions about the decks, we have a lot of other brews. I don't know, Modern's really a strange place right now, man. It's a strange place. This is neat. You guys really wanted me to jam, we need to get the Elishnorn again. I guess I must have... Somebody either is borrowing her or I traded her because we weren't playing the deck anymore. It's possible. This is just like an Esper Gifts. Similar to what Jeff was trying to jam a long time ago. Although mine runs the Jin Gitaxias because the Jin Gitaxias plus Gorios is potentially disgusting, which I think is awesome. It's actually here. These are here. This is here in theory. Don't have any tap lands. No, those are all fast lands. Nice. And then, of course, the other target is Jing. So it looks like that on the curve. Umbrella Rights is usually cast for 4 mana. So this is another deck we were jamming a while back. Looks curves like this. Oh, no, Obsidat's another... No, Obsidat's a 5. And then, of course, you're not hardcasting these. That's why we stopped playing it, guys. I must have lost the Elishnorn or traded it. That is why I stopped playing it. But it is a cool deck. You can look at it. Blood Baron's actually really cool. I feel like a lot more people, if they're in black-white decks, should maybe jam this guy. There's a lot of Terminate floating around. This thing's actually fine. Doesn't die to Abrupt Decay. Doesn't die to Dismember. Doesn't die to... Yeah, I mean, this... They have to, like, double bolt it. This guy just doesn't die to a lot of things. Why no thirst for knowledge, says Rum Tickcom. I really want to build blue-white, blue-green around Void Slime. There you go. Do you think a good control deck can exist now in a twinless meta? No. Probably not. I mean, the only control deck I think that's going to exist when people realize that it's perfectly reasonable to play. Hang on, let me reset the cam. That's annoying. I think the only control deck that people are going to be wanting to play is probably Kiki Angel, Blue-White Red Kiki. I think it's going to be one of the few control decks that still exists in the near future. But, you know, the meta's just shifted. People haven't, you know, exchanged their decks just yet. And a lot of people are going to jam the same decks despite the change in a metagame, you know. You're not going to see every player switching it up. You're not. You're going to see a lot of people jam the same deck they've had because that's what they invested in. Modern Biovisionary. Red Blue Moon. CMT, that's called Blue Moon. That's a deck. Yeah, Red Blue. Blue Red Blood Moon, it's called Blue Moon. It's pretty good. For example, if we don't have the Swan Song or we don't get out a quick carry to it, it actually can be problematic unless I have all of our fetches. We do have all our fetches. Like, if the opponent has a Moon here, which they typically don't game one, you know, you can fetch Island here. The problem is casting the Caryatid. I think it would be basic Island and then Caryatid probably if he was a Moon deck. So this would be a green source like Temple Garden. So it'd probably be basic Island, Garden, play the Carrington, then you at least got blue in another color. Blue, and then you have white on Carrington, then you have red, of course, from the Blood Moon on the Temple Garden. So you'd still be okay. Yeah, you just gotta fetch out basic Island. Gotta fetch out a basic Island. Or basic Plains. Basic Plains also, as long as you have the Carrington in addition, you should be fine against Blood Moon. Again, we can counter the Blood Moon. I really like Swan Song in this deck. There's very few things that it doesn't counter, actually, that we need to counter. Counters the Eidolon, it counters Eidolon, it counters Blood Moon, it counters anything other than Abrupt Decay that's going to destroy the... I mean, we did see a really strange card in our last match. We saw Crows and Grip. The opponent greedily got back, remember with that one card, he didn't get back the Crows and Grip, he got back... he tried to lock us with the silly Eternal Command thing, or Green Command. I mean, it was a fine play. I think it was greedy, though, because this is how we win. So I feel like I would have just gotten back the Crows and Grip, but that's just me. Could you try your Storm or Grixis variant, says Horse Wrangler. Could I build Blue-Red Storm or Grixis? I don't really like the deck. It's okay. It's not as interesting as this deck. The lines are more straightforward. It's a good deck, though. The thing is, though, is I don't have the Ascensions. I used to, and then I sold them. And I think Ascension's gone up quite a bit because people are indeed smelling those roses and realizing just how good combo is right now. Let's see. Let me look it up, just to tickle, just to see what people are saying. Pyromancer Ascension. I'm curious. You piqued my interest. I'm curious. Yeah, I mean it's going up. Spike. Look at that. Boom. Went from 2 tickets to almost 8. Grixis control mid-range. Made Twin like 3 weeks before the ban, so I was wondering if I should keep my stuff for other potential combo decks, or should I... Alright, Mills, I'm going to build you a deck. I feel for you. Mills, this goes out to you. Mills, this is for you, man. I feel for you. You got hit by that? That sucks. We're going to build you a deck right here on the Abrams special. You don't have to play it, but this is... If I was in your position, I had some Kiki Jikis, this is what I would build, right here. If I had Twin, this is what I would run. Let's see. Kiki Jiki. What do you think about that? So 2 Kikis. I would build this. If combo spikes, wouldn't Black Green and Abrupt Decay come back, says Rum. Not all the combos need the Abrupt Decay, though. Ad Nauseam is an example of a combo deck that doesn't care. You could run 4 Angels, you could run 3 Angels. We'll see it with 4. Probably supposed to be 3. Run some Cryptics. My Orborgs I bought in F15, spreading algae, have gone up 1,000 in value. Nice. Grats. Oops. Oop, forgot the Y. Cryptic. Kill the cat, kill the cat, kill the cat, kill the cat. So I don't know how many commands you own. I think the sweet spot for command is between 3 and 4. Same for Angel, the sweet spot might be 3. You know. These are 3 drops. Lightning bolts. Yeah, you gotta put in some wall. You run some number of Wall of Omens for sure. Get some value out of the Resto Angel when you don't have the Kiki for the kill. I agree. Maybe 3 bolts. Maybe you're gonna try to meta this thing. I don't know. Maybe that's crazy. Again, I'm building this from scratch. Say okay. Wonder what happened to my Affinity player opponent. This is really unfortunate. I think Raman's sweet in this deck. You think about that? I don't know how many Ramans you want. Maybe a Logic Knot for the spice. What do you think about that? Alright, he's had enough. He had enough. He played an Ornithopter, he played a Ravager, and he decided he's had enough. Or he fell asleep on his computer. Poor guy. Alright, I'll take a free win. Affinity's not easy. Oh, we were going to fetch before we got that glittering, so I have no idea what our next draw was. Well, we're 2-0. I've never really met an Affinity player that didn't want to just jam. Alright, we're 2-0. That technically wasn't a bye. We technically sat down at the table to play Magic, and I hope that guy's okay. I hope it wasn't something like a family emergency or something, you know. But I'll take a win. Path to Exiles, of course. I think Path to Exile is great right now. There's a lot of Worm Coils and other big scary Eldrazi. People are jamming, so run some Paths. Run some number of Helix. And as these combo decks get better, they like to do a lot of searching, right? They've got some tutors going on. So what I would recommend for you, friend, is maybe you want to run... It's cute, but maybe you want to run, you know, some number, maybe no more than 3 Helix in the whole list, probably. Maybe you want to run a Shadow of Doubt. That's some real spice. It's a real spicy card. Mills, MTG, thanks for the follow, man. Is this because I'm building you a deck? Alright, Celestial Colonnade. You gotta have a plan B. Your plan B is to play like a traditional blue, white, red. So you need some Celestial Colonnades. We need some Celestial Purge for the sideboard. Probably 2. I think 2 is a great spot for you to be right now. So run 3 to 4 Colonnade. As many as you can get your hands on. Then you want to run like a pretty stock mana base. You probably want Scalding Tarns. Definitely because you can get a hold of them because they're affordable. Well, in the short term, they'll be affordable. You know, maybe you want to run, I don't know. As many Scalding Tarns as you can get your hands on. Run Flooded. You can run a playset of Flooded Strand. That's not too hard. The Scalding Tarns are going to be better, though, due to the Kiki. You might even want Arid Mesa. You're going to want a basic island. You're going to want the blue-red filter lands, or maybe, you know, some number of these. That's too many fetches, though. Probably, since these are more expensive, you'll probably look more like this. You know, as many Mesas as you can get. For example, that's 8 fetches. Maybe you want 9 fetches. That's a lot of fetches. And you can run some Spice like an Electrolyze. That's one of my favorite Magic cards. I miss playing Blue-White Red. I used to play Blue-White Red without the Kiki control elements, without the Kiki combo. Miss this deck. It's really makes me sad to not be able to play it anymore. This is what I used to have in paper before I sold out of Paper Modern, guys. Alright, Electrolyze. No more than 2, but it is good when it's good. Maybe you want a Supreme Verdict for your sideboard. Proof Spawn is one of the nicest people on the internet. Opponent didn't show up. I hope he's okay. Oh, no. I really do hope he's okay. I mean, like, nobody doesn't sit down to play. Like, who would spend 12 tickets to just lose a match? I think he really did have something go wrong. He either fell asleep or something bad happened to him. There's no way that he just skips the match. So probably something, not to, you know, we don't know. We don't know what happened. You could run, let's see, what else are we going to put in this thing, Mills? What do you like? Do you still think Rumming or Deceiver Exorcist would be viable in this as Horse Wrangler? Vendilion Clique? Oh, now you're talking. Yeah, run a Clique or 2. Yeah, with combo getting better, Vendilion Clique is going to be where you want to be. Yeah, I mean, Vendilion Clique... That's probably too many snaps, main, actually. Let's run a Vendilion Clique or 2. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And as you can see, we're kind of heavy. Like, look at this. 7 4-drops? That's probably too many Cryptics. We need to bring the curve back down. Maybe you run some number of Mana Leak, you know? Maybe you run a copy of Mana Leak or 2. It's not terrible. Maybe you run a couple Mana Leaks. Keep those players honest. Do you want to run any more 1-drops? These are tap lands. We're going to put them in the 1s pile. Let's run a Cascade Bluffs. You got to run a Cascade because the Kiki triple red is tough to pull off. Cascade Bluff. It's not easy. This is you're looking at modern comics. I just saw Channel Fireball Sprouting Ascendancy. The problem with Sprouting Swarm is it doesn't do anything unless you're already comboing off Rapagini. Do you think Overwhelming Denial is modern playable? Ooh, I don't know. It's not out on a modern not out on Magic Online just yet. Eidolon of Rhetoric, Rule of Law, says Gizzy. I would run Rule of Law first. But do you even really want that? It's going to turn off your Snapcaster Mages. I mean, maybe that's a sideboard card. I don't know if I'd run it. What about something like... oh, forgot the M. Crumble. We haven't sat down and brewed a deck together in a while. I'm excited to brew this for you, Mills. So maybe some Crumbles. Probably 2 or 3 Crumbles. I am concerned with the Eldrazi Menace. Again, that's why I like you having some combo finish. I think this looks good. That's a good base. Expensive, but powerful. Maybe a small number of Spell Snares. It still has a couple targets here and there. Maybe you run a couple Spell Snare. Maybe you run, let's see.